Well, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. As you know, I've been a Hilda Bay advocate for 10 years now, and when this opportunity came to show your work here, it was like a wish come true, a dream come true.
Perfect.
Do you consider yourself to be a surf artist?
I'm a surfer and I'm an artist. Typically people think of a surf artist as someone who paints pictures of waves. It's not at all what I do. I'm informed by surfing and nature, and those same lessons I utilize in my practice of artwork. Talk about surfing, and the only way it really works is if you're mindful, you're present, you're prepared, and you're aware enough to read the environment. As a metaphor, that's how we should be living our lives. Be prepared, be present, be mindful of what's around us so that you can connect the dots of your day to where there's flow and you're affecting the world in a positive way.
I have a very big crush on Torquato. The little character that comes with you. Yep. I always saw him as a protector.
So we all have our challenges. We all have the opportunity to get through it, but sometimes we need a little reminder or a little helping hand. And so Torquato references that spirit inside of you and says, yes, you can. I created him, but he resonates with everybody. And so whatever they're going through, it's that positive little guy that says, yeah, you got this.
There's a quality to your work that is like the song of nature, and you have captured that in every single canvas.
There's no other collaboration like man and nature as in surfing. And so the same thing I'm doing with the artwork, in that I'm really taking canvas, applying it to the physical structures that nature has created, putting a voice to it, and then we communicate, and that's what you see around us.
How do you choose the location and the palette?
A lot of the locations are based around surf travel. So really trying to go explore. And as there's more surfers and there's more development, it's going further out into the wilderness to find these remote locations. There's a lot in nature, I believe, for us to learn from. It can heal us, it can help us, but we don't really pay attention to that very much. I didn't know what I was going to get. Once I did it and I started to understand what it would take to capture it more, the process has continued to unfold.
So nature said yes to you?
Absolutely. It revealed something to me that was like an aha moment of, I'm on to something, this is amazing.
How did you come up with the process for your reef painting?
I thought, well, if this is a collaboration with nature, why don't I let nature make the first move? So by taking canvas and putting it down to what it's already created and applying paints, just like I would in my studio, but really giving nature a voice, trying to capture it in a way that was dynamic, that then we could play, we could interact. It's not something that I saw a practice and I thought, oh, I could do that. It was more me making art, using materials, and drawing off my relationship with nature as a surfer. As nature's changing and as reefs are dying, I feel like there's something about cataloging them, capturing them in a unique way that is important.
What do you mean by cataloging nature's fingerprint?
Nature has its own formations, its own sediments, its own way of protecting itself, and it does that with rock formations. So it forms our land masses, it protects itself. When the tide goes out and some of those things are revealed, every location has its own unique setup. There's certain tendencies in areas, but like a fingerprint, no two are the same. I operate when the tide goes out and the reef is exposed, so I have a window of time to work, and I'll repeat that day after day. I will also photograph the area so that when I bring it back to the studio, I have those colors and those references, finish the piece, so that if I were to take the painting back to that environment, they'll blend in.
Tell us about some of the things you see at this remote location.
I've been on islands that are pristine. You don't see a footprint. Nobody lives there. You turn around the corner, it's covered with plastic. People don't realize the tolls and the effects that their products, their use, are having on the environment. And so some of these paintings from Sumatra here, you see colors that are fluorescent. When reefs are dying, they take all of their last energy, create these fluorescent colors as a kind of beacon to speak out to the other species saying, we can no longer survive here, it's done. Move on, flee.
So what is the best advice that you can give to somebody like me, to impact less in a negative way our beautiful environment that is dying every day?
We can be mindful of that in our everyday uses and practices, and just being aware through these organizations of how our actions take a toll, knowing that you have choices, knowing that your actions have consequences. That's really the first step. And then there's plenty of organizations that will help you to take those actions and that help educate you.
Where do you see the reef painting project going?
Well, I want to continue doing the work, and I see it going to more museums and institutions like this out in the world that can inform local communities about the environment, things that they can do to help. So this is an ongoing series. It's about a decade in, but it's really, in some regards, just starting.